Okay. Does he look comfortable? Not in any way. I mean, I thought it was a silly question because I thought you'd laugh at me saying basically, of course not. So that'll be interesting for you to check out the video and see why it is maybe that we think you look very uncomfortable. Now, anybody, I don't want to put any individuals on the spot, but anything we want to talk about or could be drawn from the way he came to his preparatory position? Yes, sir?
He just like snapped up there. And then,
It did.
That just like jarred me.
It did snap up there, and I was tempted to make a comment about it. I told myself, well, wait, because if he goes light staccato, then perhaps his movement to the preparatory gesture was connected to that. But then you went legato sostenuto. So that's conflicting information. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? I think we have to be careful about the gray area. As conductors, we want to be musical, we want to be connected to what's happening. We need to be inspired, perhaps be inspiring, right? We have to be inspired, but maybe we need to be inspiring. That's debatable. You know, we put an orchestra together and put Mahler 5 on the stand. I don't think they need the conductor to be inspiring. They should be inspired. And now it's helpful. Everybody likes to be in that environment where the whole thing is all systems go. But if you're conducting Mahler 5 and you're not inspired, you're in trouble. Relates to our conversation last week, educators. If you're putting When the Larks Flew on the Wings of Sparrows on a stand and you hate it, today, tomorrow, the next day, that's going to be transparent. Right? We cannot do this and not be, at least to some degree, inspired. Not to become a middle school teacher, or if you're teaching young high school students or inexperienced high school students, I'm not saying everything's going to be Husa. It's not. It's not. You're not going to wake up in the morning with goosebumps because you're going to conduct your grade 2 orchestra piece. You're not. So that's not, we're not talking about that black and white inspiring. But you have to be excited that it's quality educational repertoire, that it has some elements of artistic merit, even within the guidelines of grade 1, 2, 3. And Jordan's a composer. I think some of you guys have dabbled here and there. You think it's harder to write a grade 2 or a grade 6?
Oh, grade 2, for sure.
Absolutely. Just ask yourself, it's harder to build a car if you had a garage with 6 tools or you had a garage with 9,000 tools. Grade 2 is trying to build a car with 6 tools. Can't do that. Oh, can't do that. Too high. Can't. Oh, too low. Can't use that rhythm. Can't. Oh, no solo there. No, no, no. So it's really difficult. So we, to get inspiring music out of that stuff. I want you to strive to be more natural. Even when you look at your breath. You took a breath in, breath out. You had kind of a tall mouth and an open. You want to step down a second and just take a breath and see if you can let's just leave it at that. Let's just see if we can be as natural as we possibly can. See if we can convince them that you're comfortable. Even that looks forced, Bring your shoulders up to your ears, would you? And then bring them down. And then let's get side to side with your head. And there you go. That looks different even right out of the chute. Now it's getting forced again, right? And I know that this is impossible. I do. I hope you guys never lose sight of that. This is why conductors before rehearsals and before concerts, that kind of thing, are usually by themselves. Because you got to just try to get your head together, and you're about to do all this stuff that's important to you. You're nervous / anxious / excited, and you want to be engaged and engaging, but we all know as players, there's that really thin line between engaging and BS. Right? If the guy's engaging and inspired, or you know what, this guy's just like over the top and dancing and looks ridiculous. And I don't know what that secret is. What's the big difference? It's something about believability or integrity, character, on both sides. You know, you're a cynical type of person and you want to look at everybody and think they're just, you know, there's a lot of people, everybody. You guys all have long-standing relationships with Dr. Maslanka, at least most of you, the Windbanders, that's for sure. I've been seeing Dr. Maslanka once or twice a year for years now. There's a lot of people walking the planet think he is a fraud. There's a lot of people walking the earth that think, you know what, he gives you that whole meditation in the desert and the movement of the rocks, tell him what notes to write down. What a bunch of junk. Guy sits in his backyard getting high and writes a bunch of arpeggios. It's the truth. It's the truth. You're going to hear it your whole career when you go around saying you're an Illinois State person. Band people that know something, they're going to say, oh, Maslanka fan, huh? Or more dismissive than that. One of the most fascinating things I've ever seen in my career is the Florida Music Educators Association asked him to come be the keynote speaker at their convention. It's a true story. And those of us that knew him just started laughing. Oh my God, they have no idea what they've just done. The Florida Music Educators, not the Florida Collegiate Bandmasters, not the Florida High School, with the Music Educators Association, the general music people, everybody. And he sat in this big room at Tampa Convention Center with a couple thousand music teachers in it. They had a fancy lectern for him and a microphone. He came out, he moved away from the lectern, he took the microphone, sat in a chair just like this, brought the microphone way down on a big boom stand. He got some notes out. He looked down at the page and started speaking in his voice that you all know about the sound of a whisper for the next hour and 15 minutes.
Oh.
About the relationship between music and the space-time continuum and the history of mankind. And about 12 minutes in, people started streaming out. Like in hordes. Because there was a $5 foot-long sale at Subway.
Yeah.
And I stood out, afterwards, and we heard at the rest of the convention what everybody was thinking about that crazy stoner composer. So cynical people are going to see what they want to see. History will judge the repertoire and what contribution Maslanka's made to art music and wind band and orchestra. We don't lose sight that Symphony 6 is for the orchestra. He's written lots of concerto music for all kinds of groups of instruments. But certainly his output has been massive. The massive majority is wind band. So we can't spend our lives worried about whether someone else thinks we're legitimate or not. You know, all you can do is what you think's the right thing, and then take your lumps. You know, right? It's just like playing a recital, right? Can any of us take the stage worried that somebody's going to think we're a great player and not have disaster result? You can't take the stage hoping I'm going to play and convince somebody I'm brilliant. All you can do is rehearse and practice and sacrifice every day as much as you possibly can and go play your recital afterwards. And at the end of the day, wrong note, right note, chip note, hopefully no wrong notes, but beautiful, not beautiful, successful, not successful, you sleep well at night, your head hits the pillow, you did absolutely the best you could. That's all that matters. As a conductor, you prepare, you study your score, you learn the instruments, you practice your craft of teaching the best you possibly can. You be honest, have some integrity, and you get up on a podium, and you know what? You do it today, there's 100 people that could do it better tomorrow. This is the way it goes. But unless Bill Ravelli's walking in that room, it's your responsibility today. Bill Ravelli walks in symphonic band someday, I'm getting off the podium and he's getting on. I promise you. Because I'm going to go sit next to the clarinets and learn. But until Bill Ravelli does walk in the room, I'm going to prepare the best I can. Okay, so I'm presuming some of the tension we're perceiving could be in, at least I know it is, been for me, perhaps will, every once in a while, maybe one or two of us in the room is worried about what other people think about the way we play. I don't know, I'm just guessing. Two cups of coffee this morning, everybody, in case you're wondering. Go ahead, Jeff. In case you're wondering if it was 8. Look at that difference. Thank you, Jeff. They weren't ready. They didn't even see it. Yeah, there's a big difference. So that's going to be our challenge. Just letting it be a little bit. You know, I don't think you're going to ever come up unprepared. I know you a little bit. I don't think that's in your nature. I think you're going to do your work. And so I'm going to encourage you to trust it, and over the time, just try and relax. Okay? Thank you.